we're about to that time in the year where we could start getting back in the woods, so I'm just gonna head into our woods and mow some trails. I was in there yesterday with a chainsaw because we had quite a few tipped over trees and whatnot, so that's pretty much taken care of already, so I'm just good to mow. Just about to mow one of our small food plot locations here in our woods. It's pretty thick right now, as you can see. I'm just gonna mow it and then eventually we'll get the tiller out once it dries up a little bit. I'm about to move on to mowing my second food plot of the day here. This one's another one of the smaller food plots here. It's in a pretty good location though, because it's got plenty of sunlight, as you can see. It's very tall, so might have to mow this a couple times before we till it. I just got done mowing for the day, and probably all that I'm gonna end up doing today, since I'm just gonna be waiting for help to start tilling and planting the food plots, which I still need to pick up the food plot seeds, so probably be a couple days yet before I'm able to do that. It has been a couple days since I went and brush mowed all of our trails in the woods, and today I'm gonna go ahead and start trimming some shooting lanes for our different stands. So in total, we got about 7 tree stands and then 1 tower blind, so I'll have quite a bit of work to do today, but I went through and looked, climbed up in the tree stands and looked to see how bad it was gonna be, and it's not really that bad this year. It's definitely a bit of growth, but shouldn't be too terrible. And one of these days, I'm hoping to start getting our food plots in, which it's been raining a fair amount recently. We just had a huge storm a couple nights ago, so we are pretty much just waiting on that to dry. Eventually, once that's dry, I'll go ahead and start tilling and planting our food plots. Got a really good set of tools to work with today. For starters, we got this little handheld electric saw. Super handy. I'm not sure what brand it is, Makita or something, I'm not sure, but super handy to have just when you're climbing up in the tree stand, cutting off those little limbs. Then I got the 20-volt electric DeWalt pole saw that I gotta assemble once I get out there. It's got 2 extension pieces on it, which will be nice, reach to the higher branches. I made it to the first tree stand that we're gonna trim up some shooting lanes for today. I'm just putting together this DeWalt electric chainsaw. It's simple as this. You can just slide this down, twist it on. There is another extension piece for longer reach, but as for now, I'm just gonna leave this on how it is. Gotta grab the battery quick. Another thing I need to check for with this is how much barn chain oil it has, because it'd be a bummer to run out of that. Which I got some in my car, but I did not bring it with me, so hopefully we have some in here. One of the first things I usually like to do when I'm trimming shooting lanes is just climb up to the stand and then kind of get an idea of what limbs or weeds I need to trim. It's a lot better to do this with two people, because usually I'll just have one guy up in the tree stand and then I'll be down here trimming, or vice versa, but it's just me today, so I'm gonna have to do all the work climbing up and down. I finished with that first stand. Now I'm just moving on to one of the second stands, and this stand is one of our couple stands that overlooks a small food plot. Now this obviously isn't planted yet, which is something I'm hoping to be able to do soon. Just finished the second tree stand, and now I'm just gonna keep working on the rest of them, but I'll probably put the camera away for a little bit so I don't bore you guys too much. This tower is definitely gonna need quite a bit of work, because you can see the tree is just completely taken over. I just got done finishing up last of 8 stands that I did today. Probably took me around 3 hours to do, which isn't too bad being that I was just by myself. So now I'm pretty much just waiting on the ground to dry, because the next thing I want to do is food plots, and can't do that when the ground is wet, so I guess I'll resume the video when that happens. But as for now, I'm just gonna head on back to the house. It is August 12th, and it's been about 4 days since I was last in the woods. It's pretty much just been waiting on the woods to dry, since we got so much rain in the month of June and then July as well, so it's just been way too wet to plant. But I think it's finally about time. I'm just verifying that the woods is dry enough, so I'm just gonna check on that down to one of the lower parts of our woods, which generally it's more wet. So as long as that's dry, then we should be good to go throughout any part of the woods. I just got done tilling the first little stretch of food plot we have, and stuff over here tilled up beautifully. Just really dry, just tilled up, all powdery. It's really good soil, but I'll show you here in a minute. The middle of this food plot didn't till up all too well because I guess it was a little bit more wet than I was expecting, and it's kind of chunky dirt, sticks and rocks, so not the best soil. So yeah, pretty much right here is where it starts to get a little bit chunky and not such great soil, but hopefully the food plot will still grow here. I'm now moving on to the second food plot location, which is a pretty nice secluded little food plot area here in the woods. It's not the biggest, but it gets a decent amount of sunlight, so it should be pretty good. I just went inside to have some lunch, but now I'm back out in the woods, and here one of the food plots that my dad actually just went ahead and tilled last night, so I didn't get any videos of it, but I was just gonna hit it quick once again since it's a little bit drier now, and then I'll move on to the next one. So it's been a few hours since I've tilled the last food plot, and since then I've been fertilizing each one, and then I also dragged each one. So now I'm pretty much just gonna go and plant the food plot seed and then drag it again and then roll it, which I already did one of the food plots just kind of give you a little bit of a test run, but I didn't film any of it. And the seed that we're gonna be doing for the second food plot is this Showstopper by Domain. This has rutabaga, hybrid forage brassica, turnip, and many other different things, which should be pretty good since it's a fairly shaded area, which is what this is made for. Just gonna go ahead and pour about half of this into this Scott's seed spreader. Sure, I'll eventually use it all, but I'm just scared if I trip and it falls over or something, I'll lose half my seed. I'd rather lose half than the whole thing. But now, so for this, I put it on one of the lowest settings. So I put it on 2 because this seed is super small. I'll put it up to the camera. I don't know if you can even see it. It's that small. I just got done planting those seeds in the ground, and I just dragged it here, so I'm just gonna run back to the other side of the woods to grab the other 4-wheeler that has the roller on it. So I'm just gonna do that quick, and then I'll give it a nice rolling. Moved on to the next food plot here. Now I'm just going to start chipping away at it. Just finished up doing the last food plot of the woods. I didn't end up filming any of it just because it gets pretty repetitive, just the same process pretty much every single food plot, so I didn't want to bore any of you guys. But it looks like that'll be about the end of this video, which pretty soon I'm going to pretty much go to the same exact process at a different property about 6 miles north of this property. So I'm going to make a video on that as well, but as for now, that's it. Hope everyone enjoyed. Please hit that like button and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated.